Welcome back to hashtag Becomer series, where we here at Journey to Becoming focus on you. We highlight you and your stories and your journey to becoming who you are and purpose to be on this earth. We are so glad to have with us some awesome, fabulous. Matter of fact, she's the queen of fabulous. But I'm not gonna put all of it out there yet. But we are always here to uplift you and to not to only uplift you, but to uplift our hashtag Become Our Family. So we know we're always here to give you more information, to give you not only more information, but to inspire you, encourage you, and to be able to go alongside you to confirm that you are great, that you are awesome, and that you can do this. So none other than our own Rochele Lawson is here with us today, the queen of feeling fabulous. We welcome her. She has so many accolades. I'd be all day trying to tell you all about them, but we'll get more into that as we go further. But she is an RN. She's a CEO and founder of Blissful Living, which is featuring Unstoppable Women's Summit. We've got one coming up on October 17th. Stay tuned to that one. She is a 30-year CEO of All Day Cable Incorporated that she founded. Hello. Yes. Yeah, I told you guys. I told you the hashtag Becomers on here are tough. They are fierce. So anyway, she's a part of Rotary. She's a board member of Sutter Tracy Hospital, board member for Lupus Foundation of Northern California. I could go on and on. One of her favorite quotes is that she prides herself on keeping holistic health and wellness simple by allowing her clients to relax their minds, rejuvenate their bodies, and bring health and wellness easily into their lives. Don't we need that? I don't know about you, but I need that. So we are happy to have her with us today. And we want to be able to just listen to what she's got for us, listen to the nuggets she's going to be telling us, because it's always a nugget. Always remember, there's always a nugget to get from every episode. So listen for your nugget. So we're just going to start out today by welcoming none other than Rochele Marie, queen of feeling fabulous, Lawson. All right.
Thank you. That was great. Wow, girl, you got me feeling like I'm just all that. That was great. That was great. Thank you so much.
Yes. So now you are a woman with apparently many successes. Can you tell us what your upbringing and how that it played a part of leading you to all of these successes in these career paths?
Yeah, for sure. I want to say that I credit my upbringing as one of the definite reasons why I'm fierce, fearless, and unstoppable. So I am the only girl in my whole entire family, both sides. My mom's side and my dad's side. I am the only granddaughter. Now that we all grow up and there's other people that had girls, but I was the only granddaughter growing up, and so all my cousins were boys, and I was this little tiny, scrawny, skinny little girl. But I was tough, and I learned to be tough at a young age because I had to play with boys. And back in my day, you couldn't be a soft girl because no one was going to treat you soft, and you just wanted to. For me, I wanted to hold my own. I didn't want anybody saying, "Oh, we were easy on her," because she's a girl, right? So I just wanted to hold my own. And you just out here, girl. When I was little, I grew up in the hood, so you know how we baby kids are in the hood. You just out there playing and being tough and rambunctious and just learning basically how to survive. Now, what I did not know, or what I did not realize, was all that stuff that I was going through growing up, from when I was young and we lived in the hood, and then we family started making more money and we moved up, so to speak. I didn't realize that youth, that very young age, up until say the age of 8 or 9, prepared me to be the fierce, fearless, and unstoppable woman that I am today. It was a lot of lessons I learned playing outside that actually helped me when I needed to be fierce and fearless when it came to running my business. for
Now, you
businesses.
said it was some lessons you learned when you were outside. I want to know what kind of lessons outside were you learning that helps you now? Because that's a very important point, because we don't know about all the different things that we might have gone through that we're not even, pulling on, that we're not utilizing as part of our toolbox to make us even more fierce.
So some of the lessons I learned, for one, if you show, and depending on who you talk to, but this is just my point of view, my opinion, my experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you show a little sign of weakness,
Mm-hmm.
it allows others that feel they have an advantage over you to really basically put salt in that wound of you
Mm-hmm.
showing your weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned was, as survival, right? You walking through the hood, you can't show that you're weak, and you can't show that you're afraid, even though you might be. You always just got to kind of stand fierce.
That's
And that was
good.
something my dad taught me as well. He said, and I know you probably heard this too, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hit the person that's running the mouth first,
Mm-hmm.
all the
That's
other
true.
ones fall by the wayside, right? So I always remember that. And remember, I'm the only girl, so I always played with boys. I
Yes.
fought boys. I may have got my butt whipped, but I was going, you wasn't
They knew
going,
you were
look,
there.
right. And so what's funny is that when it came to running my opening and starting my first business, which is a male dominated industry, because I could not get hired as an electrical engineer in Silicon Valley in the 80s. Wrong gender, wrong color, and I looked too young, right? When I started that, when I was at a negotiations table with a major financial institution that is still our customer today, but this institution is headquarters in New York, and they have branches all over the place. So when I was sitting at a table across negotiating a deal, first of all, the guy kind of took me back because he thought I was the secretary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thought I was a secretary because I was a woman, right?
Wow.
But then when he realized that he was talking to the CEO of the company, things changed. And then he tried to use that playground tactics of intimidation, right? And didn't realize that, I'm a girl from the hood. I grew up little. I grew up in the hood. If I can handle them hood rat kids, you ain't nothing, right? And
Exactly.
so, right, let me put it this way: handle those hood rat boys, you ain't nothing, right? So what happened was, I didn't show any signs of weakness in my negotiation, and I ended up negotiating a deal for my business, which was an $850,000 deal.
Wow.
And it was because I didn't show any signs of weakness. And so I was very young. I was probably still in my 20s when that happened, but it was something that I look at today, because he was expecting me to fall to the wayside. And I was just like, oh no. And it was funny because my husband at the time, he's my business partner, but he was like, the guy said something and he was like, ooh. He even did like this, ooh. He goes, have you ever talked to Rochele on the phone?
Right.
And this guy was like, and he's a big executive in Citibank. He goes, no, but my people in San Francisco have. And I hear she's tenacious. And then Daryl, he was like, well, I think you just opened up a can. You probably didn't want to open up. And then it was on. But I ended up getting what I wanted for my company. And it all has to go back to the lessons I learned playing on the playground. Now, as we moved up to better, say we became from I don't want to say we moved to middle class and then maybe, upper middle class. It was different things that I had to still adjust to. The other thing was, once I was 9, we moved to where I was in an all black school with all black kids and, some Egyptian kids, some African, whatever, to where me and my cousin were the only 2 black kids in the school.
I totally understand.
And everybody was white. And so that was a whole nother lesson again with negotiation and learning things and, how to be that fierce, fearless, unstoppable girl that has helped me out today. So
that makes a difference. That makes a difference. Now I know you've done a lot of things. And so I'm trying to get to some other pieces too, because the engineer part, I definitely wanted all of the audience and listeners and viewers to hear how you were able to navigate an all male dominating field, but you also did some other things in health. Now you have a career in holistic health. So first of all, what does that mean? And especially right now where we're in a time of COVID-19, what do you suggest for women and other college students to do to stay safe and unstoppable?
Okay. So when I was starting the company with the electrical engineering degree that I could not get a job in, so I started my company in the male dominated industry. Right before I started the company, I decided to go back to school. And it was a friend of mine that actually edged me on to go to nursing school, saying that I was smart and intuitive, and he thought I would make a good nurse because I was always taking care of people and handling stuff, right? And so at the time when I applied not knowing that it was extremely difficult to get in. But long story short, I applied, he didn't apply. So it was kind of like I could not go through with it because I was paying homage to him, because he saw something in me that I didn't recognize at that time. But I did take care of everybody when I was little. So long story short, got the nursing degree and really got into holistic health, probably though when I was a teen, because I suffered 17 years with an undiagnosed medical condition. And when I became a nurse, I figured out what it was. Now that 17-year journey, I went to probably 100 doctors. It started when I was 8 years old. And so that 17-year journey, I probably went to 100 doctors, had my first pelvic examination at 9 years old.
Wow.
And I remember the doctor saying, because they couldn't figure out what was going on with my digestive system.
Sure.
I remember the doctor saying, I don't have anything small enough to examine her. So my journey led me into trying all kind of things to help me feel better. And it became more focused on holistic stuff. Now, I was a type A person. I am a type A personality, a high achieving student. I was a straight A student. I was a track and field athlete. I was a cheerleader. You know, I was that girl. But when I became a nurse, I started working in the emergency department, and I started utilizing things that I had known worked for me. And I had got an advanced degree in holistic nursing that I knew, so I was using it with my patients. And I worked in emergency room trauma, so I would have people having heart attacks, and I would give them, like, you do a meditation, we're gonna work on some deep breathing, you know, stuff like that. And I would go back and check, and I would literally see like their EKGs change, the monitor, cardiac monitors changing rhythms. They felt less pain. We would have conversations about eating right, what for your body type, finding out what your mindset is to get everything in order. Because you know what's in your mind manifests in your body, good, better, and different. So these patients that I took care of came back to me in the middle of my night shift, as I'm working nights, trying to support my family and starting a business during the day. But they would come back to me in the middle of my night shift and tell me that the things I shared with them, the conversation we had, the techniques I shared with them, actually they began to incorporate into their life, and it changed their life and elevated their health and well-being.
Look at that.
Yeah. So it wasn't not
Transitioning.
only, it didn't only work for me, but it worked for people that I shared it with. And so then I was like, okay, now I know health and well-being is your greatest asset. And if you are watching this and you haven't realized that with COVID-19 going on, then you better recognize, because I don't care how much money you have in the world. I was privileged to take care of a very, very, very well-known CEO that died of pancreatic cancer, and right now I'm using, we're probably all using his device, right? I was able to take care of this man 2 times. One when he just got sick, and it was just a quick visit, and then the other time he was sicker, and he remembered me. First time he was like, oh my God, you're so bubbly and radiant, what's going on with you, you know? And we had this conversation, and I knew who he was, because you could not know who this person was, right? And then the next time I seen him, he was really ill. And he said, you know, Rochele, he said, I'm so glad I came in when you're here, because I remembered you from a few years ago when you took care of me, and your radiance and your bubbliness and all of that. He goes, and back then I was a little bit more cocky with it, because I thought I would be able to overcome this illness, but I'm not. The illness is overcoming me. And so he said, and I said, so what would you do if you had to do something different? He said, well, you know what, if I could give you all my money today to have the health and radiance that you have, then I would do that. And so what I'm saying is, you can have all the money in the world. Think about everybody that has a lot of money and that are suffering today. We have the brother Kanye, got Okay,
Yes.
he's got mental health issues. There's so many people that have money, but just because you have money, that shouldn't be your focus. That should not be your
Yes.
greatest asset. That should be a
Exactly.
tool that you
Tool.
utilize
There you
to
go.
use your greatest
That's
asset, which is
right.
your health and
That's right.
well-being, to step into living the life of your dreams. And
That's right.
so, yeah,
It's a tool.
it's a
Exactly.
tool.
And you just let us know that, during COVID-19, that we need to recognize that that is our greatest asset, right? Our health and well-being. So
Yes.
mental and physical health, and that's important. So, and how should we do that and staying safe, and even from a
Okay.
holistic way?
Yes.
Can you kind of
I'm
tell
so
us that?
glad. I'm so glad. Yes. So things I want to share with you holistically about how you can stay healthy, safe, and well, not only for you, but for those that you love and care about, and people, hell, you don't even know. Oops, said the bad word. Sorry, but people
Look,
you
we'll
don't
just bleep
even
that out.
be. Yeah. Sorry. Oops. But
This is good. We're good.
okay. Okay. So, one of the things that you can do is, first of all, get you some therapeutic grade essential oils. And I'm going to recommend 3. The first
Okay.
one is peppermint. The second one is eucalyptus. And the third one is wintergreen. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is go out to the grocery store, your neighbor who has a lemon tree, you maybe, and pick you some lemons.
Okay.
Okay. And so, and then the other thing I want you to do, of course, is to get hand sanitizer and some antibacterial soap, and keep that in, as much supply as possible. Okay. So with COVID-19, it's and of course, a mask, and you want to make sure your mask has 3 layers. Now, none of this is absolutely 100% going to stop anything from getting to you, but the harder you make it, the less it tries. It's going to find somebody else that's more vulnerable, so to speak. And because COVID-19, or as they say, the Rona, is an airborne disease that actually, when it lands on a surface, it lives on a surface for up to 12 hours. You got to be real cognizant with it. And so you want to wear a mask. Make sure your mask is covering your nose and your mouth, so that you prevent yourself from picking up something in the air, as well as giving to someone that you don't even know who might have a chronic illness, that we walk past something. Okay. COVID, you can have positive COVID and be asymptomatic, have positive COVID and not have the symptoms show for 14 days. So you want to make sure you wear your mask covering your nose and your mouth. That's number 1. Number 2 is, at home in the morning, every morning, drink a nice room temperature glass of water with some squeeze of lemon in it. For one, it does a couple things. It wakes up your metabolism, so it gets your digestive system functioning. 2, the lemon citrus opens up your nasal passages, so it allows you to breathe easier. Number 3, it jumpstarts the metabolistic processes in the liver. And the liver is where everything we take in, good, bad, or indifferent, is metabolized. So you want to gently start that process. And some other things is it relieves gas, bloating. And if you have problems going in the morning, it will help you with that as well. No side effects whatsoever. Okay. And it's really good for you. Okay. The also thing that with the essential oils, so what I like to share with people is you can do a steam bath with the essential oils. Boil some water in a pot. Take it off the boil once it starts to boil. Let it cool down. Put drops of either the peppermint, the eucalyptus, or the wintergreen in the water, and then get a nice big towel and do a steam tent over it, and allow that steam to come up into your nasal passages, down into your respiratory system. It's going to help open up your respiratory tract. It's going to help keep your respiratory tract open, and it's going to help the warmth of that air is going to help circumvent any viral growth or bacteria growth. It's going to help make it a lot more difficult. You can also take those essential oils and rub them on your chest, and it will help open things up. So they act as a decongestant. Again, absolutely no side effects.
I love it.
Okay. The other thing is, of course, you want to wash your hands as much as possible. And until you can wash your hands at least 20-25 seconds, you want to use hand sanitizer. That hand sanitizer. Now, I'm an advocate of using hand sanitizer for the short term, but don't be so dependent upon it. Couple things. When you use it, as soon as you can, wash your hands. Because all that stuff, even though the bacteria stuff sticks to that, and it's kind of like, circumvent it where it's weakened, you still want to wash your hands, because every time you touch something, you use that hand sanitizer, it's just caking up on your hands. So you want to wash your hands and make sure you get all that stuff that's on there off. Make sure you use lotion on your hands, because you don't want the skin to break down and get too dry where you have a small fissure that is microscopic, you can't see, be a vector. So when you lay your hands down on something that might be contaminated with COVID-19 or the coronavirus, you've got this vector where the virus can enter in. Now, again, the virus is airborne and it affects the respiratory tract, but a virus, bacteria, if any way they can get into your system, especially if you have chronic illness, you want to be very, very cognizant of it. So washing your hands, using lotion to keep your skin moisturized so you have no vectors coming in, or no openings for things to come in. And this doesn't just work for COVID, it works for the flu as well, because we're coming up on that season. And
yeah, I was gonna say.
The last thing I want to share with you, which is a game changer, is if you've heard of a neti pot. It's a holistic thing. Okay, neti pot.
I love a neti pot.
All of y'all looking at this, go out and get you a neti pot. Go to a health food store. I think even Walgreens, CVS, Payless, maybe even Walmart. You can go to them online, right? Get a neti pot. When you use a neti pot, you want to use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you take some warm water. It could be distilled water, water from the tap, whatever, but take some good warm water so that it stir up that mixture in the neti pot, because you want the salt to dissolve in the water. And then you want to take the neti pot and do the neti pot in each nasal passage. What'll happen is, because it's a hypertonic solution, bacteria and viruses can't live in a salt solution like the salt of the ocean. So it's a hypertonic solution.
Wow.
Anything that's up in your nasal passages, which is the entry point for coronavirus, anything that's up there is going to wash it out. So if you practice doing this every day, not only will it help to keep your nasal passages free of any viruses or bacteria, it's going to help with decongesting you. You're going to have a better breathing flow through there. As long as you don't have like a deviated septum or something like that, it's going to help tremendously. Remember, it's an airborne thing. And when they do the test, they swab up here, way up here, right? Okay. So if you're washing that out on a daily basis and not allowing anything to harbor up in there, you just added another layer of protection. So wearing the mask and then doing the neti pot, if you do nothing else, you just added a great layer of protection. Then when you add the hand sanitizer, washing your hands, putting the peppermint oil on your chest to keep your passages open, or the eucalyptus, doing the steams, you have so many tools that are all holistic without any side effects, don't come from a pharmaceutical company, and will help you to feel better. And these are some of the things that I share. My daughter actually contracted COVID. And she's in California. She contracted COVID, and I shared this stuff with her because she knows her mama. She think I was crazy when she was young, but she knows her mama. And she did really well. She just started doing what I told her to do. She's like, Mom, I'm on it. I got my essential oils you sent me. I told her food to eat. You want to stack up on zinc as well. Get you some zinc and take some zinc and some B vitamins, because you really want to keep your immune system amped up and ready to fight it.
I love it. See, this is what I told you was going to be golden nuggets all over the place. How to start a successful business, how to continue to be resilient, how to be able to catapult into numerous passions that you do and that you've made into your purpose, as you do with even the Unstoppable Women's Summit. Now, you have a lot that you could choose from. What would be, in closing, your last, in 2 minutes or so, your hashtag becomer story? Because you have lots of stories, but what do you consider to be your hashtag becomer story?
My hashtag becomer story is really all about elevating women to step into their greatness and realizing that they are fierce, fearless, and unstoppable. It's about bringing us together collectively, so that we empower each other, we inspire each other, we motivate each other. When you got a group of girlfriends, and your real girlfriends, you can come to them with anything. If you have a man issues, girl, they're going to tell you what to do, correct you, and they're going to tell you the truth, right? If you having whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you having just issues with just life, they gonna be your girls, and they're going to support you, and they're going to lift you up, which is what you would do for them. We need to do that as women collectively around the world, because we're the change agents.
Yes,
If
we
we're
are.
relying on these men to change it, it ain't gonna happen. Love them to death. We can support them in any way, but they're not gonna change the world to make it a better place. Men are genetically geared to destroy, conquer. Women, we're caretakers, we're lovers, we're nurturers. We want to help
Mm-hmm.
bring things together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my thing is uniting women around the world so that we can step into being fierce, fearless, and unstoppable, doing what we do, managing, elevating, sustaining, and building our wellness, wisdom, and wealth so that we can step into the life of our dreams and make the
Mm-hmm.
world a better place. And we need to do that by supporting each other, coming together, standing in unity, and showing our power and our strength, particularly when it comes to the vote this year. If you're
That's
not
right.
registered, please go vote, women, because
Register to vote.
together we can make the change that is necessary.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. I know that you have a summit, Unstoppable Summit that's coming up. Can you tell us really quickly where we can find that information?
Yes, the Unstoppable Woman Summit is being happening Saturday, October 17th from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And is the Unstoppable Woman Summit, turning passion into purpose so that you can step into living the life of your dreams, doing what you want to do. And so you can find the information on that. You can go to my website at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com, and go to events, and you should be able to register for it there. You can find a link on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Things are being posted all over the place. You can email me if you're interested in attending. Now, here's the big thing, ladies. It's free. And the
Yes.
speakers are going to
Yes.
bring it, as Dr. K is
Yes.
one of them. They not playing. They not
That's right.
playing.
That's right. That's right.
If you just come for an hour, the information you're going to get, people
It's
pay
going to be
thousands
awesome.
of dollars to get. They pay thousands.
Exactly.
I've seen it. So bottom line is, it's a free event. It's, again, bringing women together so we can support each other. It's like the balloon bouquet. When the top one rises, we all rise. And
That's
together,
right.
the bigger that balloon gets, the farther we can travel, right? So you can go to my website. And if you want to email me, because you want to register and you can't find the link or are having difficulties, you can email me at Rochele Lawson at gmail.com. And that's ROCHELELAWS like Sam, O-N like November at gmail.com, or Rochele Marie at Blissful Living, the number 4 and the letter U.com. And we'll
Excellent.
get you hooked up.
Thank you so much. We thank you all for joining us today. We thank Rochele, Marie, Queen of Feeling Fabulous Lawson for joining us. Thank you so much for those words of wisdom and such great information on how to stay safe and healthy. And don't forget to look at our next highlighted stories of #Becomers, because it could be you. If you're interested or you know someone who has a super awesome #Become a Story like Rochele does, give me a ring, or either you can email me at empowered@journey2becoming.com. And don't forget, the website is journey2becoming.com. You can be able to check out all of our social media places out there as well. We're so happy that you're with us. Thank you. And don't forget, stay positive. You can do this.